Spirited away to a wrinkle in time by the evil wizard Mordrok, transported by a bumbling old time machine, Dirk begins the rescue mission. Once the casket of doom has opened, Mordrok will place the death ring upon Daphne's finger in marriage, and she will be lost forever in the Time Warp.
Like full of dark work. This sounds beautiful. Not anymore, darkness, dark soul.
I'm closer than that, fools. I'm here. Everybody, welcome. Thank you for coming to our premiere episode of the iiRcadians. Now, look, I am not the iiRcadians, and it's not even just me and the other guys. It's all of us. We are all iiRcadians. But let's bring on the other guys that are here to celebrate our premiere show with us. We got Papa Brad.
Yeah!
Woo, what's going on,
Let's
man?
do this.
We got Mikey J Productions. Oh yeah, and we got DKOG73.
What's going on?
All right, guys, dude, this is exciting. This is the premiere episode. We've been planning this for a long time. Oh, here we are. We're here. Hey, so we thought about this. We're like, okay, for our very first show, most people, and this is just a guess, most people probably don't know all four of us, right? Probably most of you guys are here because you at least know one or two of us, I would hope so, or you probably would not even be here, right? But I don't think everybody knows all four of us. So we decided for our very first episode, we wanted to kind of put together some little, like, short little clips to just basically introduce ourselves and say, hey, this is who I am. This is my channel. This is what you can expect from my channel. Just so you can guys kind of get to know us a little bit, in case there's one or two people on this panel that you guys are like, I don't know, who's that Papa Brad's guy, man? He's kind of weird looking. Like, I don't know, man. He's kind of shady, right?
Who's the Lego guy?
There's the Lego guy.
Who's
So
the
let's start out with, now this, I just want to say this, and I don't know if you guys all feel the same way, but this was really weird making these videos, because we were making videos basically about ourselves. Did you guys kind of feel like that was like a little awkward?
Hey, they're gonna be our new channel trailers, so that's
Our new channel trailers anyway. Yeah, but we all worked really hard on these, so these are like maybe 3 to 5 minutes a piece or whatever, and we're just gonna introduce each other's channels, and so I hope you guys enjoy what we've put together for you. We're gonna start out with Mikey J. And we're gonna see, this is Mikey J introducing himself to the world. So, which, by the way, I just want to point out, this is the second time ever on YouTube that Mikey J has even shown his face. Is that correct?
That is true. That is true.
Second time ever.
Yeah.
The first time he was playing his guitar like a boss. I just gotta say. So, okay, here we go. Let's check out Mikey J's trailer, guys. Where is it? Here we go.
Guess who's back? Back again. Mikey's back. Tell a friend. Hey everybody, here I am with my iiRcadians big reveal. And this is me, and I'm playing my guitar, and I actually do all my guitar music instrumentals that you hear on my channel. I play myself. But my channel actually started as a Ghostbusters the video game way back in 2010 that I actually edited together as an actual Ghostbusters 3 actual movie, proper sequel. But my biggest claim to fame on YouTube actually came within the LEGO community. As you can see, I have a pretty massive LEGO collection, And I actually became known as kind of like the pirate ship guy or the pirate ship king in some corners of the Lego YouTube space. And as you can see, I definitely like to get into my Lego pirate ships, that is for certain. But I've been into the home arcade community for a while. I actually did, I believe, the first ever Mortal Kombat Hap Mock, and I've actually done a recent Big Blue IL Eurostick install. And some of my other mods include a custom Daytona USA arcade 1-up cabinet that I've also fully modded myself. And I have a pretty big collection of arcades, and I'm definitely a big fan of all different brands and varieties in the home arcade space. And one of my biggest projects to date was actually a Ghostbusters Proton Pack. We have a collection of them, and speaking of films, I like to get into some of my favorite film franchises, including Friday the 13th. And as far as modern gameplay goes, we actually do Red Dead Online. My family does a whole role-playing series that we do on my channel, and my daughter gets involved and my wife. And it's kind of like a Dukes of Hazzard kind of Old West kind of a feel. And I also do WWE 2K Universe mode type materials also on my channel. And speaking of which, my character, who I don't play none of these matches, it's all computer simulated, actually became AEW TNT champion, so that was pretty cool. And speaking of fighting, I'm very much into the retro fight game community, and you can see me on Big Blue, and that is one of what brought me to the iiRcade. And I actually purchased my iiRcade before I found out about the online play coming, but I knew that I just had a feeling it was coming, and I just wanted to get in on the action. And so this is my channel, this is Mikey J Productions, and I am so excited to be part of the iiRcadians and get to hang out with all of you.
That's right, that's me.
Very nice. I didn't see before I saw your intro video. I didn't know anything about you being like a Ghostbusters guy. Have you caught ghosts with that proton pack yet? Like, is that a functional proton pack?
It does everything except actual catch ghost. Yes, I'll say that. But every sound you could ask for it can make, and like I said, that thing was so much fun to make.
Yeah. So guys, I gotta say this: Mikey J, his internet connection is he was trying to upload this video, and I figured out why. This is the modem that he used to try and upload that video. See, I can see why there might be some issues there, Mikey.
That is legit for real. That is my modem. Yes.
That is his actual modem that he used. It's a dial-up 56K made out of Legos.
What's even funnier is I do have that pirate ship that came from.
That's actually that's from a pirate ship?
It is. That's the hull of the top deck of a pirate ship. The Imperial flagship, to be specific.
Oh my goodness. This is the level of Lego knowledge that this guy has. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so let's see who's next. So DKOG73, buddy.
What's going on?
How's it going? Man, look at you. Got so much stuff going. I got to make you big because you got so much stuff in your background. I want to see all this. I just want to look around. There's just so much going on in this room. Look at you got, of course, front and center, the iiRcade and Donkey Kong. Look at this little tour. This is great. Holy cow.
The sick game room.
Sights and sounds. I could just stare at your background for days. Out of time. All right, guys. Let's take a look. You got a video that we put together. Man, this guy's got so much stuff to say. He kept editing it and editing. I think you must have spent days on this, right?
I spent some time on it for sure.
a little bit of time. Let's take a look. All right, here we go. DKOG73.
Welcome. This is DKOG73. I want to say thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out. Check it out.
Yo, VIP. Let's kick it.
This channel, it started on July 15th of 2021, so we're a little over 6 months old. I'm fired up. I'm so excited for how this journey has evolved. When I created the channel, I had two simple goals in mind. Number one, I wanted to just have fun and play games, right? Number two, I wanted to create a time capsule so that when I got older, I could look back at the good old days. That's why in my videos, I have personal stories. So without any further ado, let's get this party started, and I'll see you in the game.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious.
You know what? Let's do this. Goonies never say die, baby.
I feel my heart beating.
Let the party get started.
Now that the party is jumping.
All right. 285. 299,200 points. Let's do this. $300K. +20 games tonight. That's why I always say the game's never over. Never say die, baby. You know, I'm so fired up right now.
You make me feel
309,000.
like I'm alive again.
In my car, slammed on the gas, bumper to bumper, the avenue's packed.
I'm a huge I love Stinkin and I love Outrun. Today we're going to be playing Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. It's one of the best fighting games ever made. They had an awesome Street Fighter 2 machine, and me and a good friend of mine would go there pretty much every weekend after high school, and we would go to this fun zone just to play Street Fighter. And a few times after going there, my friend actually met a girl. And long story short is, that girl had a friend. Actually met her on her 18th birthday. And, oh, I thought I got it there. And ended up marrying her. So it's kind of a cool story. Killer time. It's been a while, man.
Yes, hi everybody. I'm
Dude.
excited to be here.
So stoked to be hanging out. Look at that right there.
Look at that. That looks awesome.
Look at that little mini Marvel vs. Capcom. It's amazing. I'm excited. It's going to fit right there next to NBA Jam. Super excited. Oh, and by the way, Kimber Time, she's a rock star at NBA Hang Time. So hopefully you'll hang out with me and play some NBA Hang Time in the near future. But for tonight, it's all about Streets of Rage. Let's play some Streets of Rage with a VIP guest. Are you ready, Kimber Time?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Let's play. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming, so get ready. Super fired up. So, remember, the game is never over. It's just getting started. And we'll see you next time. You just watched me play a few games, right? Broke 300K in Donkey Kong. Played a little Outrun on this amazing arcade 1-up cabinet. Played Streets of Rage with my best friend. These were all amazing times. And this is all part of that time capsule. But the best part is all the people that I've met on YouTube. It's been absolutely epic. This journey hasn't been like anything I ever thought it would be. And so I hope you'll join us as we continue to forge forward and build an amazing community of gamers who like to have a good time, who want to chill, hang out, support each other, because we're going to elevate these communities, whether it's the Retro family, whether it's the iiRcadians, and I'm super fired up about both of these. Let me tell you, we've got a lot of cool stuff happening. And you know what? Play it forward. It's going to be monstrous. But we're going to engage people all over YouTube. And you know what we're going to do with Play It Forward? You see, we started in our community, right? With some cool giveaways. All right, so we started with 32 contestants. The final giveaway, $150 Amazon gift card. And we're still going to do that, but we're going to expand. You see, we're going to take Play It Forward in places where I think it's needed the most. And we're going to start with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And this will start in February. As you help me build this channel, guess what? I'm going to be able to give more and more and more to charities. And you know what's really cool? We're going to let the community vote every month on what charity we're going to support. As a video game community, as a retro family, as the iiRcadians, you know what? The future looks so bright, and I hope you'll join us in building this amazing time machine and building these amazing memories and just having fun, having a good time. And you know what's crazy? You might just make some amazing friends like I have. And as I said before, thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out. I hope you join us. Me and my friends, man, let me tell you, this community is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's so much cool stuff coming. And like I say in every video, the game is never over. It's just beginning. And I can't wait to see you in the next game.
All right, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So the Play It Forward thing, right? So that you said that started in February with Make a Wish, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get started about February 15th, right around there. That's kind of what I'm, kind of where I think it's going to be, right around February 15th.
Awesome, dude. I'm excited. It's just, you get me pumped up, man. I tell you what, there's not a lot of people that I can watch your videos and like get teary-eyed. I mean, sometimes for the wrong reasons, but when I watch your tour videos, I get teary-eyed because I'm happy. Like you just, man, you bring out the feels, man. I'm telling you.
Awesome, man. Yeah, it's just a passion, I mean, playing games my whole life, and to me, it's a lot of fun. I mean, this whole thing started with just wanting to, create a time capsule. So, and obviously, I want to make the videos that I want to watch. So, hopefully, you guys enjoy them. So,
I love it. All right. And any other comments that came up? I know. Oh, I put our names down here, guys, because I realized it wasn't showing there, and you guys are like, "Who's who here?" I'm confused. I don't know these guys because I know DKOG73. You got to get used to this. Just it's numbers and letters here, guys. Come on, and it stands for
Donkey Kong, Original Gangster, and then 73. I'm an old guy, right?
Yeah.
52 years, right? So. But you know what? It's all good, man. I'm gonna game into my 70s, so it's all good.
Well, you guys saw
now.
that.
I think you're the oldest one on the panel here, right?
Well, Papa's the oldest.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely the oldest.
Yeah.
That's why we call him Big Papa.
Hey, that's right.
Yeah,
we're representing 50% Star Wars here, though. So you gotta fly the Star Wars flag whenever you can.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, speaking of which, Papa Brad, let's watch your video and let's see what Papa Brad is all about on his channel. I think there might be some Star Wars stuff in there. We got some chats here that need to.
Here.
Man, look at all these people in the chat that we got. Look at this!
iiRcade! Yeah. This is our show. We got a show. Hey, man, everyone knows that Papa Brad loves going on arcade tours, acting crazy. You never know what I'm likely to do. And I was honored to be the second person invited to do the show. And this is a show for iiRcade. And I just wanted to put that out there. But you've seen my tours. But a lot of people, I think, already know what I'm about. Val says no brew for Papa Brad. Val's my wife. I want to thank everyone for showing up. We have a lot of really great people that showed up for the show today. And I just want to thank everybody.
Read this chat. Somebody read that chat from Akuma Rebel. What was it saying about beards?
Oh, is it just me, or could Mikey J and Brad be stunt doubles for each other, just one with a beard and one without?
We could work on the beard trimming and make it perfect, right?
Yeah.
Mikey, you got like what 9 or 10 cabinets back there? How many you got in that room?
I have 9 arcades and 1 pinball. Wait, over there. You can kind of see it.
You got quite the setup. You guys have sick game rooms, man.
Those badges behind you are all from Pinball and Arcade Expos, which is another thing that I cover on my channel. So whenever I go to a big pinball show or a arcade expo, I just hang the badge on the back wall.
So Brad, if you guys don't know about his channel, he does all kinds of arcade tours and stuff. Let's take a look at that. We'll talk about that in your video. So this is Brad's intro video. Here we go. Papa Brad.
I am Papa Brad. My channel is called Papa Brad's Game. On my channel, I cover arcade, pinball, and retro. I love to go on wild arcade tours while I travel across the country, find the coolest arcades, and bring them home to you. I also like covering home arcade products, especially iiRcade. I also cover Arcade 1-Up and ad games. I'm pretty addicted to arcade and pinball stuff. I grew up in the golden age of arcades. 80s and 90s arcade games will always hold a special place in my heart. I love all things arcade and pinball. I love the community of home arcade people. I want to thank all the great content creators on YouTube that sparked my interest in this great hobby. Cannot buy every pinball and cab I like, but I decided I wanted to seek out awesome real retro arcades and film them. I decided to make a YouTube channel for my arcade tours to be shared because it's a do-it-yourself thing to do. Also, I love video arcade tours. So feel free to explore my channel, Papa Brad's Gaming, and see all the fun things that I'm going to share. I always liked channels that had different adventures and allowed you to come along with them on the adventure. My channel is about nostalgia and my channel is about fun. This is Papa Brad's Gaming. I got the iiRcade when it was announced that Dragon's Lair was going to be on iiRcade. I really love the iiRcade product. I think what Jong has done is really special. I started covering more of the games when they started having the sales, and I think it's a great machine for anyone to have in their collection. I've always been involved in the iiRcade community, so it was a big honor when I was asked to be part of a new show called the iiRcadians. This is going to be a show that's for people that like iiRcade. The iiRcade is a really unique machine and that allows you to play your favorite modern and retro games on one arcade. On the same arcade, you can play Dragon's Lair, Double Dragon, Elevator Action, and Burger Time. Then you could switch to modern games like Retromania Wrestling, Dead Cells, and Oddmar. iiRcade is a machine that is obviously made by gamers for gamers.
I'll be back.
It's just a great machine. You could tell they care about the product. Another great thing about iiRcade is it's currently one of the most powerful home arcade machines offered. So welcome, and go explore my site, Papa Brad's Gaming, on YouTube.
Woo, Papa Brad!
All right, Papa Brad.
Thank you.
I think what's cool is watching these videos, I realize just how different our channels are. Like every one of us, it's like we have a huge diversity of the types of videos that we put on our channels. It's like, but we all have the common thing that we share.
Love of gaming. We all love the games, and we're all about the games.
And we all have crazy rooms like this.
Very crazy room. My room, you see, mine's a little bit of a mess, and it usually is. You can barely move around in here and function. You just can't see all that because of the way that my camera's facing. But yeah, well, let's take a look at my video. Now I got to follow all of that. You guys did such amazing jobs editing. I got to follow this. But for those who don't know me, I'm Rainwater Games. So let's take a look at what I put together. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Jeff Rainwater, and my channel is called Rainwater Games. Many people don't know it, but my channel has existed for over 8 years now, and originally was a channel mostly for Let's Plays, which were popular at the time, and MMORPG guides and tutorials.
He aggroed me? He aggroed me. Oh my gosh, I hit Spirit Bolt. I'm gonna die. I am so gonna die. I'm the only one healing here. This is not good. Oh snap! There's like 5,000 of them. What?
But ultimately, the channel has always been all about games. In some of my earlier videos, you might have seen me refer to myself as Cannon Fodder Ted. This nickname alias sprang from an old Xbox username. Because I was so bad at shooter games, I thought it would be comical and brutally honest to call myself cannon fodder so that my enemies would underestimate me. The Ted part was simply because, well, cannon fodder was taken and I didn't want to be something like cannon fodder 2988. Well, the name sort of stuck and I just kind of went with it. So my channel became known as Ted the Noob Gamer or Cannon Fodder Ted.
We're not flat because...
Oh, sure, the only option left is going to the door with the crazy guy.
Here, I'm gonna draw a wiener on the screen.
There's no skill involved at all! It's time for some Black Rock Mountain expansion. We're on the third boss.
Giant spiders to do my bidding.
This game is absolutely atrocious. I think the obvious choice here is the redneck because he has a chainsaw. Is that Yoshi? It's freaking Yoshi!
Just pooped a little, I think.
No! I am so bad at this game. If you save the world, I'd expect Obama to be like, hey Ted, thanks for saving the world. Sending you some flip-flops.
In 2020, I became a Kickstarter backer for a project called the iiRcade. I started consuming every bit of content I could on the company and the product, and I was fascinated by the prospect of having a quality home-sized multicade with legally licensed and optimized games that could support the developers. I could actually choose which games I wanted on it, and not have to sift through tens of thousands of illegal ROMs that may not even work properly just to find a game that I wanted to play. And in December of 2020, I became the second person in the world to own an iiRcade at home when it showed up on my doorstep unexpectedly. From then on, I was hooked. I knew I needed to make a review video, so I revived my dusty and forgotten YouTube channel from the depths of long forgotten, and the rest is history. On my channel, you can find content about iiRcade, as well as other home arcade, pinball, console, and PC gaming, retro and old. I love all the games. In fact, if you look around, you might even find some board game content as well. I've played and own hundreds of board games. I guess some might say I'm a bit of a board game snob. Those Hasbro games just don't cut it for me. In the spring of 2021, I joined up with Mad Dad's Gaming and Your Average Gamer on the weekly Retro Party YouTube show, which is all about retro gaming. Many people felt that our chemistry and humor on that show was the keys to it being so successful and becoming one of the most exciting gaming shows on YouTube today.
If something happens, I want to make sure that your family is taken care of.
Oh, what are you doing? What's chasing him, man?
Okay. I eventually made the decision on my own to leave the weekly Retro Party to pursue a different direction with my content, and that's when I was approached about joining the iiRcadians. The iiRcadians show promised to be a show all about my favorite arcade machine, the iiRcade, and the community surrounding it. The all-star host lineup was full of dedicated, focused, genuine, positive YouTubers from the community that all shared a passion for the iiRcade and wanted to create a family-friendly, drama-free, positive, and enthusiastic environment and a place to celebrate what we all mutually loved, the iiRcade. So check out my channel, Rainwater Games. Later, nerds.
Rainwater Games, oh Rainwater, go check out his channel.
Okay, hey, I gotta go.
Yeah, Jeff.
I bet Ralph didn't know he was going to be in the show today, did he? Thank you, Kev Grant, for pointing out the Prius. He's always got to bring that up, right? I appreciate that. Everyone's got to know Jeff has a Prius. I got 2 other vehicles too. I'm just saying.
Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show, I kind of wanted to say that I think it's important for me to let everyone know kind of the origins of how this whole thing started, so we can just kind of clear the air with that, so there's no crazy rumors going around. I wanted to start my own live stream show, and I wanted it to be about the iiRcade because I like the iiRcade, and I felt that it needed some more positive content on YouTube in its corner. And I knew if I was going to do it, I could do it on my own, and it would be what it was. But I knew that if I got the right people together, that we could actually do something special. And the first person I reached out to was Papa Brad, because, I mean, everybody knows Papa Brad. He's just the man. He's too legit to quit. And after I talked to him, I said the first person that we have to get Rainwater. If we're gonna make this happen, we have to have Rainwater on board. And then it was Brad.
I conned Rainwater into getting on board. That didn't I, Jeff?
Your check bounced, Papa Brad. I don't know, man.
yeah. It was a real con job to get Jeff on board, but we got Jeff. We got the whole crew.
And then it was Brad that suggested DKOG73, and I watched like 30 seconds of one of his videos, and I loved his energy and his enthusiasm and his passion for this stuff. And I said, "Yep, that's our man. Let's go." And here we are.
All-star cast, man. Well, let's go around the horn. I think we were talking about, like, we want to know what everybody's favorite games are on the iiRcade, because it shows about the iiRcade too, right? So what, people are trying to get to know us. What's your favorite games? Who do we want to start with? Mikey J, what's your favorite game on the iiRcade?
All right. Well, if I'm gonna say my favorite game, it would be Double Dragon. I mean, it's an all-time classic. But if you want to know what game I've been playing the most, or is on my arcade, the most, it is what's back there playing now, and that is Breaker's Revenge. Because when online happens, I'm putting it all out there right now. I'm running it.
Nice.
Oh, man. You're going to have to teach us how to play good so that we don't make idiots of ourselves.
That's right. I'm running it.
Maybe we can expect like a segment of like how to not suck at a fighting game, because I know I could use that from you, Mikey. But you're kind of our resident fighting game pro. Do you think?
No, I don't know. I think DK might be better than me. I think he's being coyed with everyone here, but I think he's the true ace in the hole that we have.
I'm gonna get a big boost soon. I know.
Oh, he's getting a big boost,
but I'm gonna get a big boost because you know what? The community's there. Obviously, you can tell they're having a good time. So,
what do you think? I got to throw this out there. When the iiRcade goes live, right, with online? Do you think, is Breaker's Revenge going to be like the game? Like, what's going to be the one that you guys think everyone's going to gravitate to for like online competitiveness? Is Breaker's Revenge?
Yeah, it's either going to be
it's the best fighter, in my opinion.
Yeah, Rage of the Dragons is really good too.
Oh, I'm so bad at that. I can't even beat the computer.
The computer has such cheap shots. I can't even beat the computer.
It's hard.
It's like the difficulty's insane.
But I think the game, the shmups and the Double Dragon and the beat 'em ups will probably be the most action.
For me, my favorite game by far, my favorite game is going to be Dragon's Lair. I mean, Dragon's Lair was what got me to iiRcade, and then they followed up with excellent versions of Space Ace and Dragon's Lair 2, and they're just bringing out the retro games that I love. I mean, Elevator Action, Burger Time. And then they got modern games like Siggy, the jet ski racing game. Just so many good games. And the shooters, the shmups on iiRcade are just next level.
I agree. I think that's a huge strength. I can't remember who I was watching. I was watching somebody stream there talking about how some of this. Oh, I know. You guys know who it was. He was saying a lot of the shooters were doo-doo butter. That was the words he was using. But he did say there's some good ones there too. And I think this is like, if you like shoot 'em ups, this is the system to get. Don't you guys agree?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
But for me, I think my favorite, if I had to narrow it down to one, I as a category, the shmups by far. And there's a few games that I gravitate to just playing a lot. But I think as far as like, if I had to pick one game to be my favorite, I would go with probably Outzone. So if you guys haven't played Outzone, it's kind of like Ikari Warriors or Heavy Barrel. It's like a top view, and it's almost like a shooter, but it's not a scrolling screen. But you got to keep going because your energy is running out in that game. So you got to like manage that. So you got to really go, and you got to kind of memorize the levels to really be good at it. But the sound is so good, and on an iiRcade, which we know already has amazing speakers, you pump that thing up to 11, man, and it will like make your heart pump for you, and like your adrenaline I'm like screaming at my arcade when I'm playing that game. Like I don't know, man, I love it. And I don't think it ever got a home release on any kind of console at all on Outzone. There's a sequel to it, Fixate, which is technically maybe a better game, but I don't think it. I still think Outzone is more fun for me, but that's my favorite. DKOG, what's your favorite, man?
Well, okay, I'm gonna tell a quick story. So I saw all the chatter about eggs, right? And I'm like, yeah, because when I started downloading games, I was like, you know what?
Wait, your favorite game is eggs?
Yeah, I downloaded eggs and I started playing it. It was like late at night. It was like 2 a.m, and I was sitting there, and man, you know, I've never used a. Yeah, well, I try to keep my channel family friendly. That's really the goal, right? And but man, it was late at night. There was no camera rolling, and I was like, like I was just. And then I watched a video where he got like, I think Console Fanboy got like what 70K or something like that. I mean, props, great score. But you know, I think that's one of the things that I just wanted to highlight real quick is there's so many games that I've played on the arcade that I've never. I mean, typically when I play games, they're all AAA, right? I'm gonna play Legend of Zelda or whatever, right?
One thing when we're talking about eggs, I am above Jeff in eggs. Jeff, you gotta bring it. You gotta bring it. I'm ahead of you,
What's
bud.
the time that I was
Them leaderboards make these games fun.
And then a certain somebody bought an iiRcade and told everybody to go play eggs, and now I'm like what 7th or 8th now. I don't even know.
You're underneath me.
The game is hard. Yeah, well, that's all that matters. I'm underneath Brad, so
that's right.
But
that's not what I thought you were gonna say, DK. I thought you were gonna say something else.
No. I mean, I just wanted to comment. I think, you know, there's a lot of games on the system that, I mean, I've played games my whole life, and there's so many games. Like, I never played games before, or eggs before, right? So, you know, for me, I would have to say my favorite game on the system, gameplay-wise, is Dead Cells, hands down. It's a permadeath game. It's a Metroidvania. It plays great on the system, and but yeah, I mean, obviously, Dragon's Lair, I'm a huge fan of that as well, right? I mean, who isn't, right?
Dead Cells, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good. You know what? I had planned on playing that last night a little bit more, so I could speak intelligently on the game, because it's been a while since I played it. And I didn't play very far, but it's definitely a fun game. But since you brought it up. It's almost like we planned a segue here, guys. Like, just since you brought it up,
click. Woo!
There's some new stuff that happened this week in the world of iiRcade. Am I wrong? You guys, we got a picture of Dead Cells here. If I can find it. Now I can't find it. Where is it? Here we go. Look at that beautiful.
Boom! Shakalaka.
Boom. Well, guys, unless you've been living under a rock, which I suspect if you're watching this show, which is all about iiRcade, you've probably seen this before, right? So let's talk about this, guys. What do you guys think? Mikey, what's your first impressions of this? This was the announcement this week at iiRcade at CES. What do you think, Mikey?
My initial reaction is that is the most beautiful looking stock cabinet that is going to be for sale. I mean, we can't say it's for sale yet, but for 2022, and that's not, you know, knocking any other companies, but I'm just telling you, and I'm not saying the Dead Cells one specifically, but just the Gen 2 design is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's a work of art in my opinion. And so that's my biggest takeaway. And my second biggest takeaway is how iiRcade is listening to the fans. I mean, we have to give them credit, you know, where credit is due. I mean, yes, everybody is going to say, you know, the big G word games, but I know they're trying because look at what they're doing here for everyone. I mean, you asked for it and they are providing it. So
yeah, the number one thing fans ask for is like, where is the lit marquee? Where is that lit marquee?
Exactly what I was going to say.
Why doesn't it look just like my other arcades? Now they have a Western arcade look. You like that Western arcade look? You want to sit it next to your row of other arcades? I mean, it's cool. It looks like it belongs now.
Now, this was the only
2 options the way it looks.
One. This is the one that they confirmed. No, they confirmed
cosmetic.
Four different skins. Which ones were those again?
They
somebody took notes.
Double Dragon, Dragon's Lair, Retromania, and Dead Cells.
Yep.
So those ones we know we're going to have those skins, but they'll probably do others as well. And they didn't have anything totally finalized. This was what the booth. So I'm going to cover your guys' faces for a minute. You might have to do one of these things, right? This is what the booth looked like at CES. You can kind of see Dead Cells there on the left. You see Space Ace, Rising Hell in the back there. The Sydney Hunter cabinet's beautiful. You got your Double Dragon. You got your Dragons there on the right. You got a Toe Jam and Earl. You got your in the back there. You got your Retromania. But like you said, we don't have everything finalized, totally confirmed yet. But very cool booth. DK, what do you think about this new cabinet?
Well,
the
I mean,
shape.
I built a bunch of cabinets, and it was kind of cool actually because as my daughter started college, I was building cabinets and reselling them on OfferUp, and that's kind of how we paid for some of my daughter's college. She goes to UCSC. But no, the cabinet, my takeaway is this. I was watching a video of Retro Ralph, and he was originally looking at the very first prototype design, and they had like a 17-inch monitor. It was white, it had this big giant R on the front. You guys remember that? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Look how far
I had a
they
picture
have
of that
come.
already.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's amazing.
It was pretty ugly. It was pretty ugly.
I
We can
mean-
all agree on that.
I mean, like I said, if you've watched some of my videos, you've seen I've built my own cabinet, right? I've modded arcade one-ups, stuff like that. But the thing that I want to point out is when they actually brought the cabinet to market, it was substantially better. And what was that, like a year ago, right? So
1 year.
now look, fast forward 1 year later, and the improvements between prototype to Gen 1 to Gen 2 are off the hook. And if they're putting this much time and effort into making this thing just go into beast mode, you have to know that they're going to do the same thing with the games, and we just have to be patient. It's hard, right? Because as gamers, right, we're like, we want it now. You know what I mean?
I know.
Right?
And imagine if you're iiRcade, you're sitting on game, you know what's coming, but you're in a situation where you really can't tell people what's coming.
Right.
You can tell from some of these interviews that Rexer was doing.
They
He
have
wants to
exes
taste
in their
stuff. He
sleeves.
wants to say stuff he can't.
But they can't. And that's fair. That's the way the game works.
Yep.
The licensing game.
So there's a few things, and I know Brad took some extensive notes as we were watching some of these booth tours. Thank you, by the way, to the Rexer show. Gave us all kinds of on several different shows. We saw all kinds of footage. Excuse me, but what were some of the things that we're talking about, Brad? If you want to run down the list, these are changes.
They're going to
in the
move
new
to
one.
an octagonal gate inside the machine. Instead of having ball tops, they'll have bat tops. They also are, the motherboard position is going to be changed outside of the control deck. So probably behind the monitor, they've moved the guts of the machine. So you know what that means.
We'll
You
get
want
to
speculate a little bit?
that. We'll get to some speculation here in a minute. Let's
the
hold
same
off on
monitor.
that.
It's the same monitor, but we
Okay.
get three extra inches. It's 3 inches taller, and it's going to play all the same games.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of had to do that because of the marquee. If they
Yeah,
didn't
'cause
make
the
it taller, the
marquee.
marquee would be right in your face.
And
But let me point out this: Rexer is 6'4". He's a tall dude, and he said standing at that. Now he doesn't
Like,
own an arcade.
perfect viewing angles.
No problems. Yeah.
Perfect viewing angles. And as critical as Rexer is, for him to not tear that machine apart, I mean, he knows what he's looking at. I mean, Rexer is definitely a veteran. When it comes to arcade equipment.
Well, the second stream that I saw him, he was on Retro Ralph's show, and he was saying that what we're seeing in the cameras is not doing this justice. Now, I don't know because he's never seen the first versions probably in person either, but he was talking about like the artwork on the Toe Jam and Earl and the Rising Hell. He said they were just gorgeous, and he's pretty critical.
Mind if I chime in real quick?
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that because, I had seen the iiRcade when it first launched. I actually was about to buy one like 4 months ago on OfferUp, and the guy it was a Dragon's Lair cab, and he didn't do the art right, and it was bubbling, and I'm like, I'm too much of a perfectionist for that. But yeah, I mean, as far as it's when you look at it online or when you see it on a video, it's way different than when you have it right here. I mean, it really is a pristine cabinet, and it's just Gen 1, right?
Yeah, no kidding. So are you guys going to get rid of your Gen? Are you going to try and sell your Gen 1s?
I don't think I ever will. I love it.
Are you going to get
it's
both?
like we were there at the beginning. I mean, how cool is that? It's like an Atari 2600. Yeah, it's wood grain. It's ugly, but it was like the first console. I like having the throwbacks.
So you think like 10 years from now, people are gonna be like, "You've got one of the rare Gen 1 Kickstarter editions."
Man,
like, nobody has those.
Imagine if it keeps growing. I think the older ones are going to be cool to have. I mean,
that's a good point, Brad. I didn't think about that. As far as if I'm getting a Gen 2, let's see what the missus puts in the comment section here.
She's watching. She wants to know. I want to know if Mr. Miami Cuddles is getting a Gen 2. He just got his Gen 1. So
yeah.
I think the thing is iiRcade has a lot of flexibility. If they come out with a killer new game, they can skin that cab like that, and boom, we have a whole new option.
And they have, yeah.
And they can do it. It's because their whole system is they can react quickly, and they can give us what we want.
So I want to clear up a couple of things about the sound, because a big thing that they were talking about in this is their new partnership with JBL. The speakers that are going to be in the new cabinet are not changing. They're still using the really, really good speakers that everyone has from day one said are amazing, and they are in the original Gen 1 cabs. The speakers they're using in this are the same, but JBL is like partnered up with Harman or owned by Harman or something. And Harman, I think you can go to their website and you actually get a sample where they can say, this is what it sounds like without the Harman software. It's like kind of like an EQ software thing that they're doing. And then what it sounds like with it. And it's basically like it takes the sound and just makes it better,
crisper, more clear sound at all volumes. It's going to be like sound processing that's going to, we already know this machine can go loud. You can wake your neighbors. You want to shake your neighbors' doors. You turn your iiRcade up, they're going to be knocking on your door.
People keep talking about subwoofers and stuff like this. Doesn't need a subwoofer. And I want to be clear about the you can see I'm trying to like point at it right here. The grill is not going to be the round grills. It's like a grill that goes all the way across and it's slanted, but the speakers themselves, it's kind of, Michael said that that's not, it's kind of a deception, right? Like the speakers are actually flat facing towards you still, but there's just that fake grill there. So that the speaker placement is actually still facing forward. So what do you guys think about the sound on this? Are you guys thinking is that going to make a big enough difference?
The sound has never been an issue with our iiRcade, as far as like in my opinion.
We're just like waxing a Ferrari at this point, right?
It's like the best. That's the best sound of any of the home arcades, the big companies.
If you've ever watched a Papa Brad video, his arcade tours are just off the hook, right? And there's just sound everywhere. And I remember when I was a kid, whether it was Chuck E. Cheese or like Aladdin's Castle. I don't know if you guys are been to some of these arcades back in the day, but I mean, you walk in and you can just hear everything just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, the sound, it already sounds really good. And I always kind of chuckle, sometimes when I see different modders and they're building out a cabinet, and the one thing they'll chintz on that it just drives me bananas is the monitor. They'll put like a really cheap monitor in there, right? And there's all this lag, right? But the sound, right? It's not hard to get good sound really in a cabinet. So and when it pops, when you're playing Dragon's Lair and you can just hear those moves. I mean, it plays so well and sounds and looks so good. But the sound is key. I agree with what Tony C was saying in the comments. It's a weapon. It's going to be a big deal.
Hey, Mikey, pull up that P-Dubs comment again. Can you read that? What was he saying in there?
They're using the JBL Harman audio effects software technology. I don't believe the speakers will be any different than they are today, but the software will make them sound even better.
Yeah,
that's kind of the gist that I got of it too.
I think so.
At all volumes, more control over the sound.
So this is my question: if this is a software technology, wouldn't they just apply that to the Gen 1s as well? Like,
that's what I was kind of thinking. Right? Yeah,
it's the same speakers, same amp, right? So maybe the new software is going to be pushed to, or are they just saying, no, that's for the Gen 2, just to kind of incentivize people to move on to that? I don't know.
Most likely will be a firmware update for everybody. I mean, obviously, we all know they're working on the new UI, which is going to be, everything they do is first class. I mean, when I was building this thing and I was checking the art, and it was like, I mean, within a millimeter, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the detail is solid.
G. Parker's Arcade Room, welcome, buddy. I'm seeing Mr. Post.
Yes.
We got Post Style? What's up, guys?
I gotta say, the people in this community, we got some pretty cool people. I saw Retro Arcade Music Man in there. Shout out to him as well. Everybody go check his stuff out. You got to click the bell on his channel.
Brett,
Out of Bachelor.
Sorry.
Brooklyn Menace, man, we got an awesome group.
Of course, Hollywood Polo, got to give him
Hollywood
a shout out.
Polo, P-Dubs.
So we're gonna speculate a little bit, but before we do that, we're gonna do something in each one of our episodes. At least one game, maybe two if we have time. But today we only got time for one because we're trying to keep it to like an hour here, guys. But we're gonna be doing Spotlight, and this is like, how do I put this, guys? We want to showcase a game that we like, and it's gonna be like one of us is going to make a video. Or just a short video just saying, hey, here's a game that we want to kind of show off. And yeah, go ahead, Mikey. Am I saying this wrong?
Well, I just do you remember X-Play? Of course, everyone remembers X-Play. So that we're gonna do that for the iiRcade. This is gonna be the iiRcade X-Play, and it's gonna be awesome, guys.
All right, hey Brad. So what's his first game?
Okay, the first game. Yeah, I want to introduce it. This is one of my favorites. I picked this one. This game is dirt cheap. $5. And it is a game with a farty Mario. Roll the clip. This is a great game. I recommend.
Sorry, I cut you off there, Brad.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Oh, no, it's not playing.
Modern Game Spotlight on Siggy, a fart from Melusina. This is a cool Mario clone game. It's $4.99. Join the Knight Siggy as he runs, jumps, and battles in his flatulent quest to save Melusina, the love of his life. This game has lots of goofy enemies and crazy bosses. You earn riches. There are all kind of secret artifacts you can find in the game as you make your way up to the top of Mount Stink-Up. Super tight gameplay and wonderful pixel graphics make Siggy a lighthearted and loving 8-bit adventure to enjoy. The graphics are 8-bit style, and it has the chip-tone soundtrack. Secret caverns full of loot to collect and lost artifacts to find are scattered throughout the game. Collect all the letters and hidden treasures to complete 100% of the game, which is very challenging. Platformer junkies and speed runners can finish in 30 minutes. It took me a lot longer than that. This is an example of a game that is perfect for iiRcade. The cheap price and the fun gameplay makes this an easy game for me to highly recommend. This is a good example of a retro modern type game. While the art style is retro, the gameplay is very modern. The creativity in the bosses and the humor of the game are another thing that I think makes the game really great. Like this boss's name is Cholesterol, and he's French fries. So there's a lot of humor in this game that's really fun. Platformer, I'd give this game a try. But be warned, the last boss is insane. He's very hard to beat. It took a long time for me to beat that last boss. Sorry, I had to put all the farts in. Ivan Stink Up is the final boss. You notice that I have 39 lives going into the last boss. You're going to need a lot of lives, especially when you're just starting from this game. This is my pick for modern games on iiRcade for the iiRcadians. This has been Papa Brad. Hope you enjoyed this video.
Yeah.
All right, Siggy.
All right. You know how the Bachelor, his comment there. This is why we do this, guys. Right here. You see how he says, "I need this." See, this is exactly what we wanted to spotlight a game because you guys probably never heard of it. And then how many people are going to watch that and be like, hey, how many farts were in that video, Brad?
Yeah, I tried to get every one. I missed probably half of them. There must be double that.
I want to watch it again just to like do a drinking game with the every time he farts and that's a good game.
Here, I got a thing. I got a thing. One of you guys go back and watch it, and next week's show, tell us how many farts were in the Siggy video. It's a mission.
I think we could do that. We could do that for a contest or something, right? What do you think, DK?
Oh, absolutely. And you guys want to announce our cool little epic thing now, or
you have the floor? You have the floor. Take it. We got a couple minutes.
Let's do it on the next episode.
We'll do it on the next episode.
Cool. Trust me. I think you guys are going to be jacked out of your mind.
But you're going to want to know how many farts were in that video. That's part one.
I like it.
Right?
That's awesome. Yeah,
You're going to need to know how many farts are in there. We're going to have to go back and count now if you want to know. Well, we got just a couple of minutes. We are trying to keep this to an hour, guys, because after this show is over, the iiRcade Leagues is going on. And you're calling it something else. What are they calling it now?
Leagues Online.
Leagues Online.
Yeah.
It starts in just like 2 or 3 minutes here. So we're gonna go back. I want to just really quickly, all the stuff that we saw at CES. Do you guys have any speculations? I know I do, but what do you think we're gonna see in the future here?
Or I'll take it. I mean, the fact that they're changing the PCB and putting it behind the monitor instead of in the control deck. I mean, if you guys can't tell that, not for two things. For one, if you want to be able to mod controls on the Gen 2, now you can. And the second thing is steering wheel.
No, I think you nailed it. That's what I was going to say too, because when they talked with Rexer about that, he basically said that he didn't rule out swappable decks, but he just said like, hey, if we're going to give you a trackball, we're going to do it when we have a bunch of titles to do it with, not if we only have 1 or 2 titles. But he wasn't like saying no to this. And it's pretty obvious, like they're taking the stuff out of the control deck and putting it behind the monitor. Why else would they do that? So I don't know. Any other speculations that you guys can from gather from CES? DK, Brad?
All right. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, based on what I'm seeing with Space Harrier and with Shinobi, my gosh, I'm dying here. It's the Shinobi number 2. What's it called?
Shadow Dancer.
Shadow Dancer.
There we go. I think I'm stoked. I'm a huge Sega fan, so I'm really hoping that John continues to massage that relationship with Sega, and we get to see some awesome like OG Sega games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Brad, before we're gonna have DK's gonna take us out, but before we do, Brad, do you have anything else on predictions or anything that you want to add?
I'm excited for Space Invaders, and I just hope that I'm excited for the brand new version, and I'm excited for the arcade version. I think it's real important that they get that backdrop in there, though. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Space Invaders, and
yeah. Do you think they'll have a skin? You think they'll skin a cabinet for Space Invaders? I mean,
shoot,
they did it for Rising Hell.
But
they did it for Toe Jam and Earl. I mean, they got to. Space Invaders.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Space Invaders. Space Invaders was the first video game I personally ever played when I was 7 years old at a Kmart. That was where I played my first
You're
video
dating
game.
yourself. Let me think. When did Space Invaders?
And it was Space Invaders. So that was a long time ago.
How old was I when Space Invaders was I around?
Born.
I have a very cool story about
DK
Space
has a
Invaders.
great Space Invaders story. We'll need to bust that later.
Yeah.
Down
Maybe
the
next
road.
episode we'll talk about it.
We're gonna have a lot of stuff coming up, guys, in the future. We're gonna have giveaways. We will have cool guests on the show. Stuff that you're gonna count those farts, man. I'm telling you, and then come back next week because we're gonna have this guy right below me right here is a heart of gold, and he is super generous. And I'm
Loves
telling
to
you,
give.
he loves
He
to give.
pays it forward.
And we're just like,
I gotta pay
man.
it forward.
It's like
So-
the funnest thing in the world, guys. I just it's awesome. You get addicted to it. I don't know how else to say it, man, but it is cool, and it's cool to see people get jacked out of their minds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So make sure you guys come back after we're done here, guys. Go check out the leagues online. DK's gonna take us out with an what do you call this? Take us home, DK.
Well, you know what? Before we do that, I want to thank everyone for all the support. I mean, there were people posting videos and Retro Arcade Music Band and Gamers Effects and Brooklyn Menace and CT Jason. And I mean, there's so many people, right? And P-Dubs showing up, showing support. I mean, I'm gonna miss. We have 40 something people, like 46 people in the chat, right? I'm gonna miss people, but first and foremost, thank you so much, man. We spent a lot of time on this, and it's a blast. So I'm just jacked out of my mind. I can't wait for the next show. But as far as the next show goes, I want to share something with you. It's so important that we listen to what you guys want on the show. I mean, this format was just kind of something we put together. We massaged it. We thought it was going to be kind of fun, right? But if you have some ideas, let us know, right? Because we want to make this all about the community. It's not about the four of us. It's about all of us, right? And so, with all that said, as you've maybe heard me say on some of my videos, the game, it's never over. And we will be back next Thursday. And we can't wait to hang out and chat about all things retro and iiRcade.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
I'm putting together a team. The top agents from around the world. We're the 355.
The 355.